Hello everyone and welcome to episode 61 of the TEW 2020 UJPW series here on the channels. It is the Best Super Juniors Tour. Very excited to see how this plays out because it's a different type of field to this Best Super Juniors. So there's no Dean Malenko, there's no Wild Pegasus, no Ultimo Dragon. A couple of big names, not involved in this. No Liger, and no Masato Fuchi either. So very much a chance for a lot of guys to step up and take a big time leap into the top tier of the junior division. So that would be just kind of massive to see from their perspectives. As the two blocks look like this. If it'll load, there we go. 2 Gold Scorpio, Chris Jericho, El Samurai, Golden King, Jinsei Shinzaki, Nuki Sano, Satori Sayama in this final Best Super Juniors. It was announced, so that is pretty big as far as obviously a legendary figure. I mean, the Mount Rushmore of junior heavyweight wrestling for sure, and Satori Sayama in his final Best Super Juniors. Shinichi Funaki, the great Sasuke, of course, the former champion, and Yoshinori Okawa. Interesting bag, because you have Tuco Scorpion and Sasuke in the same block, Nuki Sano, and with him, El Samurai, and great Sasuke. That's a pretty solid top 3. I'd even throw Funaki in there as a top 4, and Jericho looking to jump up. Okawa, of course, somebody that you can't overlook, and maybe even Sayama might even shock some people. Same thing with Jinsei Shinzaki, Golden King, and Chris Jericho, who's had a pretty big leap so far. Of course, one after the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. As for Block B, Brad Armstrong, Damien, Chris Candido, Eddie Guerrero, of course, the Junior Heavyweight Champion, Hayabusa, Kazuya Yamasaki, Minoru Tanaka, Super Astro, Taka Michinoku, and Tsuyoshi Kikuchi. So very big. You can kind of see the leap here from Block B to A, honestly, because you have Brad Armstrong, Chris Candido, Eddie Guerrero, and Hayabusa in the same block, plus Super Astro as well. And even Tsuyoshi Kikuchi's very solid. Minoru Tanaka and Kazuya Yamasaki are solid as well, as far as kind of rounding it up. Then Damien and as far as the newest Best Super Junior, and Taka Michinoku, of course, it was either between him and Terrier Boy, but we went with Taka instead to be the representative for the BWO. I think it's going to be a fun block, though. I think this block has a lot of potential to just really showcase how strong and how deep this division is, because like we said before at the beginning, missing a lot of big names in the junior division right now, and we could still put on a pretty solid tour. I think so, at least. We'll see how it all plays out. We do have a final shore pretty much booked. We're not going to show it off until the end, though, until we finish out the Best Super Juniors tour, just because it's going to be a lot easier to kind of, because there's not going to be any build up to that show. Everything's one block, or it's 2 blocks on the same night, so it's obviously you have a lot of matches to go through, and just really no need to be building up towards the final show. But there are some major matchups. I think there's 4 or 5 title matches set on that show, so it's a pretty big show compared to years past, especially. So we'll have to see how that goes. Oh yeah, everything's pre-booked, ready to go. So we're gonna go. Let's rock and roll. That's crazy. As Prazak looking super young there as CBS and Nippon TV. Perfect. See backstage incident. Johnny Ace and Shinya Hashimoto, as Johnny Ace was brought for Wrestler's Court, accused of being an hour late to pick up his assigned travel partner, as the judge, Shinya Hashimoto, found him guilty and sentenced him to pay for his travel partner's meals for the next 3 shows. Sick. So we ran Budokan here last time, and you see there, Liger, Wild Pegasus, Ultimo Dragon, Masato Fuchi, guys that are not in this tournament, and the Malenko down there, that just kind of shows you how much the talent crop has changed. Yes, Nippon, Budokan. We do have a 99 in Kanto, which is awesome. So as far as the main event, I think we're going to go with Eddie and Candido as the main. And the champion's not safe. Right after beating the great Sasuke, gets his first match against Chris Candido, and Candido beats him. 26 minutes. Love it. Absolutely love it. Candido's going to be kind of struggling a little bit stamina-wise, but other than that, I think it should be a solid outing. Hayabusa and Kikuchi can be the co-main. Hayabusa's going to beat him. 22 minutes up. Kikuchi's beat him every time in the Best Super Juniors. They only face off one time as last year, but Hayabusa gets the win there. So they're 2 for 2 in singles matches. Then we'll probably go. I mean, that Astro Brad Armstrong match is pretty solid as well. We'll add that. Super Astro's going to get the win in 24 minutes. And Sasuke and Shinichi Funaki. Love this. A little Michinoku Pro match. As Shinichi Funaki is going to get the win over the former Junior Weight Champion. So that's back-to-back losses for Sasuke. This has got to be the first time Shinichi Funaki's beaten the great Sasuke. Yeah. They face off against the best of juniors every single time. But this time, Funaki gets the upper hand here. Shows you how much he's improved. Getting a win like that, very, very massive. So we got, we'll go Jericho and El Samurai. I don't see why not. El Samurai's going to get the win in 22 minutes. We'll go Taka, or not Taka, we'll go Satori Sayama, Nuki Sano rather. Nuki Sano's going to get the win in 20 minutes. Boris Malenko's actually going to be leaving us, which breaks my heart that he's going to retire, but also it's just wild that he's still with us, obviously, in the mod, since he would have passed a couple of months earlier in real life. Oh, yeah, Kazuya Yamasaki and Damien. Nah, we'll probably go Golden King and 2 Cold Scorpio. I think that's the best match here left. And it's a Steal the Show matchup. 2 Cold Scorpio is going to beat the Golden King. It's a fun match, though. Then we'll go Yamasaki and Damien. Damien's going to beat Kazuya Yamasaki. That's a huge upset there. It's Jinsei Shinzaki and Yoshinori Ogawa. Ogawa's going to get the win in 20 as well. Then Minoru Tanaka's going to beat Taka Michinoku in the opener. Which, that's a fun little match, though. We'll see how they play off as far as, because that's... Minoru Tanaka, of course, just got out of the unimportant phase, so that's awesome. But, we're good to go, though. I'm surprised we don't have to change anything. So let's run it. 81. 77 for the opener. That is not bad at all. Taka Michinoku outperformed him. That's pretty awesome for Taka Michinoku. As Minoru Tanaka with the roundhouse kick at 9:38. That's a solid match. That's a solid opener. Shows you how great this junior division is, as Ogawa pinning Jinsei Shinzaki for the roll-up in 2018. He was off his game, but still outperformed him. 82 for Kazuya Yamasaki and Damien. This was the wrong upset. Probably should have had Taka upset Minoru Tanaka and then had just Yamasaki beat Damien. But still, hey, what a win for Damien in 18 minutes. 71 for Golden King and 2 Cold Scorpio. I forgot 2 Cold's got that injury right now, but he gets the win, the Scorpio Splash. In 12 minutes, Golden King outperformed him, but solid match. Solid match there. An 82 from Nuki Sano and Satori Sayama. Sayama was exhausted by the end of this. 49, you could kind of see that definitely it's time. It's time for him to wrap it up. But we wanted to give him a nice farewell in the last ever, his last Best of Juniors run. But Nuki Sano welcomes him with a scoop brainbuster in his farewell tour. Pretty brutal. But yeah, Sayama probably should be working 20 minutes as El Samurai beating Chris Jericho with the Samurai Bomb. That's a good win as well. And again, it's just guys are able to step up and really showcase their talents. It's just been awesome to see. 83 for the guys Sasuke and Shunichi Funaki. Fun match here. I'm surprised it wasn't even better than 83, but Shunichi Funaki with a Rising Sun win over the great Sasuke in 25 minutes. That's a banger of a matchup, though. Speaking of a banger, this probably should have been the main. Super Astro with the Astro Scissors over Brad Armstrong in 23:38. Big win from Super Astro. As, boy, that is a man to watch out for. And then 98 for Hayabusa and Seo Shikuchi. Good luck topping that, Eddie Guerrero and Chris Candido. As the Hayabusa with the Falcon Arrow in 21:53. Yep, 82. Thanks a lot, Chris Candido. He gets the win with the Blonde Bombshell in 26:03. Fuck. Man, that would have been nice. Would have been real nice to have Astro and Brad Armstrong main. And then had Hayabusa and Kikuchi. Yeah, fuck. But, as far as we're going to put over the guys that lost, as far as Eddie and Sasuke, and, trying to think who, Kazuya Yamasaki, since he put over Damien and didn't really complain about it. Solid night one, though. It just sucks that the main fell apart on us. Other than that, though, very, very pleased with that show. That was awesome. I mean, we could have had like a 97, 98 show if the right thing was on last. But yeah, I mean, that kind of shows you, unfortunately, Candido, he does have his limitations. But that match would have been awesome to see as a full-length match, but he can't do it, unfortunately. He probably could have done this to steal the show matchup, and it would have been a lot better. Well, yeah, the first night's in the books. We'll probably take a look at the standings after night 4. Yep, it's always a good call. We'll usually go 4, and then 6, then 8, and, it's just a good little kind of momentum thing for us. But yeah, on to night 2 we go. Alright, now, well, obviously, it's another big show. Okay, never mind. I was like, well, obviously we are not going to be able to carry that momentum from the previous show, but it looks like we will be able to. So, the big thing about this was, because the main event kind of sucked, CBS was a little upset with us. Hopefully we don't piss them off here again. And it's Johnny Ace. Once I put over Yuji Nagata, way to go. Love it. I forgot to turn that down. Let's do that, in case it does that for the rest of the episode, because that's not going to be fun to hear. Alright, so, the main event, we got to be pretty locked in with this main. Obviously, it's going to be Brad Armstrong and Hayabusa. Never mind. That's the main for sure. That's a banger. That is a banger. Brad Armstrong's going to beat Hayabusa, too. That's a major win for Brad Armstrong. He's never beaten Hayabusa before. Till now. Awesome. Awesome. You love to see that. You love to see Brad Armstrong get a big win like that. Hayabusa's not happy about that, though. So that's tough. But, hey, that's the nature of the beast. Some people are going to be upset. There's Naoki Sano that's going to be Shinichi Funaki. This is a good little back and forth match here. I like this. Naoki Sano has been incredible, as he's got another victory there. 2 straight wins for that man. We'll probably go Kikuchi and Candido. I know it's probably a mistake, but... And Kikuchi's going to beat him. What an upset. After beating Eddie Guerrero, beating the Junior Heavyweight Champion, Chris Candido dropping the very next match. Eddie and Taka's going to be a good match. We'll add that now, as Eddie's going to beat Taka in 20 minutes. That's a great chance, though, for Taka to really show what he's got against the Junior Heavyweight Champion. His 2 Cold Scorpio's going to be Chris Jericho, so that's 2 straight victories for 2 Cold Scorpio. Let's change that, actually. Except Jericho beat him. So I think with Scorpio's injury, I don't think it's going to outperform him. We'll see. We shall see. As, let's see here. El Samurai Jinsei Shinzaki. Astro Yamasaki. Yeah, I mean, Super Astro and Kazuya Yamasaki's probably best case scenario there. So that's another win for Super Astro. It's a great start for him. Oh yeah, we'll go Sasuke, Golden King. Sasuke's going to win. Nice little bounce back match for Sasuke. They're losing 2 straight, but he gets his first point of the tournament. Yeah, we'll go El Samurai Jinsei Shinzaki. Samurai's going to win in 20 minutes. We'll go Ogawa and Sayama. Yep, nice little 10-minute matchup. And Satoshi Sayama's going to beat Ogawa as well. And Damien and Minoru Tanaka. Minoru Tanaka with 2 straight victories as he beats Damien, and we're setting that for Steal the Show. Yeah, I mean, we're going to run Osaka. We're probably going to run Osaka Joe Hall. Oh my god, we can run. We are just jam-packed here. 76,000 people we could potentially have. That is nuts. But yeah, I think we're locked in for this show. I think we're got a pretty great main and co-main. We'll see if I'm correct there. 78, though, for the opener. That's a hell of a way to start off the show. Minoru Special from Minoru Tanaka in 10:17. That is not bad at all. 75 for Ogawa and Satoshi Sayama. It's Ogawa outperforming it, but I mean, Sayama at least was relatively close. 68-62. Diving headbutt, though, for Sayama. Wish he didn't do that, but I get it. So Tiger Mask. Gimmick till the end. It's El Samurai with a Samurai Bomb in 20 minutes. A 20-point difference in points there. El Samurai's just the man. The absolute man. Sasuke's beating the Golden King with the Michitoku Driver in 1958. Not bad at all. Nice little 88 there. 93 for Astro and Kazuya Yamasaki. They have great chemistry. Did not know about that. As Super Astro with the Astro Scissors in 1956. Probably could have been a little bit higher on the card. Now, looking back. That's a hell of a match, though. 78 for Jericho and 2 Cold Scorpio. Yep, Jericho was the better guy. So I'm glad he gets the win there. Gets the win with the Lion Tamer in 20 minutes. 77 for Taka and Eddie Guerrero, as Eddie was off his game. Taka wasn't at his kind of A game that he was in the first night, which is unfortunate because we definitely should have switched this in the Super Astro matchup. But an 87 for Kikuchi and Chris Candido, they have great chemistry. As Kikuchi beating Chris Candido with a submission in 1948. That's a solid match. Solid stuff. Yeah, 20 is kind of the cap for Candido. And then a 92 for Naoki Sano, Shinichi Funaki. Naoki Sano with a scoop brainbuster in 24:49. Let's see what the main event does. It's a 93. Brad Armstrong beating Hayabusa with a side Russian leg sweep at 27-40. Big win for Brad Armstrong over Hayabusa, and thank God we had a pretty good show off of that. Glad they take the 92. That was solid stuff there. Love the first two shows. We've been rolling. We have been rolling. For what we have, as far as from a talent standpoint compared to what we usually have, I'm very, very pleased. A lot of guys have stepped up. Looking at Super Astro from that, I mean, he's been just fantastic. Trying to think who else we could count up. Yeah, Nuki Sano's been great too. There's a lot of guys that have stepped up in that junior division. That is for sure. For fucking sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a great start. You really can't ask for anything more off of that start. No one's been hurt. People have been busting their ass. No one's really extremely upset so far, so that's been nice. Hopefully the good vibes keep going. As on to night 3, we go. Alrighty, night 3. So now we're in the normal side of the shows now, as far as the normal tour size. So we're on the Nagata City Gymnasiums as main event. That is a good question. Cause I mean, Hayabusa, Kazuya Yamasaki's not a bad call. Kikuchi and Brad Armstrong's not a bad call either. We'll probably go with that. Go with Brad and Kikuchi. Brad's going to beat him in 20 minutes. We'll see, though. Kazuya Yamasaki and Hayabusa's not a bad match. We might have that go on last. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's better than Kikuchi and Brad Armstrong. We'll see, though. We'll see if I am correct. Let's see. I do like that Sasuke-Jericho match. Jericho will lose to the Great Sasuke in 21 minutes. We'll throw Astro Minoru Tanaka out there. Sprash is going to win. 25 minutes, though, giving them a lot of time. Then we'll do Nuki Sano and Golden King. Nuki Sano's going to get the win in 23 minutes. That's 3 straight victories for Nuki Sano. He's got 6 points already. Shinichi Funaki is going to beat Satoshi Sayama. 20 minutes is a bit much for Sayama. We might just drop that down to 10. We might put some other stuff ahead of it. We'll see. Like El Samurai and Ogawa can go higher. Ogawa's going to beat El Samurai. What an upset from Ogawa beating El Samurai. That is massive. Yeah, we're just going to bump that up, and the rest can go below it. As Eddie's going to beat Damien. 16 minutes. Nothing too crazy. Taka and Chris Candido. I kind of give it to Taka. I think that'd be a hell of an upset. Would really pull off an unpredictable victory. I think Taka's going to be relatively close to Candido to where it makes sense. Fuck it. Let's do it. That's crazy. Beating the junior heavyweight champion, rather, and then losing. Oh, yeah, he is. He's pissed. Let's just have Candido beat him. That's tough. Tough. Then 2 Cold Scorpio and Jinsei Shinzaki. As Jinsei Shinzaki's going to beat 2 Cold Scorpio. What an upset to kick off the show. So at least we get a crazy upset. Having back-to-back upsets would have been a bit much, but that would have been a crazy way to start off the show, though. With Candido losing and 2 Cold Scorpio losing. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Might as well. If everyone's going to be pissed, we all might as well be pissed together. Alright, let's run the show. That's 60 for the opener. Jinsei Shinzaki gets the win thanks to the injury on 2 Cold Scorpio, so that is a major victory for Jinsei Shinzaki, though, to get that win. A 60, though, not great. Obviously, the rating's going to be much smaller compared to what the previous 2 shows have been, since it's just a tour show. Boy, Taka Michinoku wasn't close to beating him. That is, boy, I feel real bad. I'm sorry, Chris Candido. Very, very sorry about that. A 79, though, for Eddie Guerrero and Damien. Is Eddie getting the Gory Special win at 16:09. It's a good win. It's a good win, just, as far as Damien, just not on that level. Unfortunately, Funaki and Sayama both are off their games. This has been a terrible show. As the Sean captured from Funaki over Satoshi Sayama at 9:44. And 80 for El Samurai and Yoshinari Ogawa was a slight upset. Only 1 point difference between the two. That was a nice match. It's a nice match. Glad we get things rocking and rolling there. Naoki Sano with the Scoop Brainbuster over Golden King. and 23-28 and 81 for Minoru Tanaka and Super Astro, who Super Astro's been the MVP of this goddamn tour. He's been fantastic. He gets to win the Astro Scissors over Minoru Tanaka as the Great Sasuke with the Thunder Fire Powerbomb over Chris Jericho. That's actually a pretty solid match, and 82 will gladly take that as Sasuke keeps rolling right along. Kikuchi did outperform him, but Brad Armstrong gets the win in 20 minutes with the side Russian leg sweep in our main events at 73. What the fuck happened here as Hayabusa with the Falcon Arrow and 22-47. I'm not sure how that got a 73. Luckily, it's a tour show, so it should not matter. Thank Christ. Brutal. I'm not sure what the fuck happened in that main event. We should have said Sasuke and Jericho main. If that was the case, that was quite odd to see. As on to night 4, and after night 4, we'll take a look at the standings for the first time. But, I mean, so far, we've been seeing, as far as, Naoki Sano's been on a tear. Chris Candido had a big win over Eddie Guerrero, then all of a sudden, that shit went downhill very, very fast. Pretty crazy to see. Then we're also going to see, as far as, we'll see how everybody else kind of finishes up, because, as far as Eddie looking to bounce back after losing for the first time, and, yeah, a lot of time left, though, still, so it's still going to be very, very early to see, but it should be fun to kind of see the outline after the first 4 nights. Alright, night 4, as, let's see what we're going to have for the show, as far as we're going to run it. Yeah, let's go with the Star Lanes, that's always a good little spot here for night 4. The main event, let's see, so we got, Eddie and Astro, that's definitely the main, as Eddie's going to beat him, though. That's a big win for Eddie Guerrero, because Astro's been on a bit of a tear. Pretty sure he's been undefeated going to this point, so that is just a massive 2 points to block Super Astro from potentially winning the whole thing. Brad Armstrong and Chris Candido, as Brad Armstrong's going to beat Candido, so Brad, I'm almost positive, has won 4 straight. That is a massive, massive win, though, because obviously Candido's beaten Eddie. And for Brad to not only beat Chris Candido after losing to Taka, but now losing to Brad Armstrong, that is a major 1-2 punch for Candido to kind of overcome. We'll go Hayabusa Minoru Tanaka next. Hayabusa's going to beat him in 21 minutes. Let's see. I'm a sucker for that Sasuke Jinsei Shinzaki match. I know it's not going to be good, but I love it. Sasuke's going to get the win in 20 minutes. Jericho and Naoki Sano should probably go above that, if I had to guess. So Jericho's going to win, though. That is a massive win for Chris Jericho. This has just been a crazy aspect of James. First of all, I can't believe Naoki Sano didn't complain about that either. Let's go Funaki and Golden King. Golden King's going to win. Oh, this has just been a fucking upside down tournament. That is for sure. Tuco Scorpio and Ogawa, as Tuco Scorpio's going to beat Ogawa. Because he's injured, it's not going to be that great of a match, but I'm happy he gets the win now as Kikuchi and Kazuya Yamasaki. Kikuchi's going to beat Yamasaki in 20 minutes. Then we'll have Damien and Taka. That's probably going to be the opener, actually. Taka's going to beat him, so that's 2 victories for Taka, and Damien's pissed. As El Samurai and Satoru Sayama's El Samurai going to beat Sayama. I think we're going to bump that down to 10 minutes as well. That just seems to be the pace that Sayama's, he's working best at. So, as far as Damien's already got a win, so I don't really have to worry about either way, who wins is going to get their second ever victory in the tournament, but we're going to go with Taka. I think that's going to be the right call. We'll see. We shall see. Yep, Damien was, he outperformed him. He was off his game, too. It sucks, because Damien and Taka, as far as these two, Damien obviously has been here a lot longer, and he's kind of worked his way up a little bit. Like him and Sikosa's a fun little junior team. But Taka's came in. For not having a lot of popularity besides in Kanto, he's done a pretty solid job. And we just got to keep on giving him wins. I think it's the big thing there. And that's what we're doing. The 2 victories over both now Candido and beating Damien as well. Samurai beating Satoru Sayama, though. The Samurai clutch in 9:37. Solid the matchup from El Samurai. 79 for Kikuchi and Yamasaki. As Satoshi Kikuchi getting the win in 20:30. 72 for Tuco Scorpio and Shinaragawa. Yep, again, Tuco Scorpio just struggling with that injury, but he gets the win in 1931. 74 for Golden King and Shinichi Funaki. It's actually pretty close. I'm not sure why Funaki was throwing such a bitch fit about that, but it is what it is. Only an 8-point difference As Jericho and Yuki Sano was only a 9-point difference. That just shows you how far along Chris Jericho's come just in a year. As, yeah, I mean, that is a massive, massive victory. Getting the submission one over Yuki Sano with the Lion Tamer as well. That is just massive. A 77 for Sasuke and Jinsei Shinzaki. Michinoku driver from the Great Sasuke in 2014. Love it. Love it. A 79 for Hayabusa Minoru Tanaka, Falcon Arrow from Hayabusa in 2108. That's weird. Hayabusa, I feel like, I don't know if he's like declining or what it is, or if that's just his calf for the tour show. Yeah, he was holding back, but that's fine. No big deal. 81 for Brad Armstrong and Chris Candido. Right guy wins, obviously, and Brad Armstrong. The side Russian leg sweep in 1950. Big win for Brad Armstrong, and then 81 as well for Eddie and Super Astro. This would have been a hell of a match. Obviously, this was like at a normal event, but we'll take it here for the Star Lanes main event. A solid little show. It's crazy. Jericho and Yuki Sano was the best thing on the card. Which, I mean, that actually was a really good match. We probably should have bumped that up a little bit higher, for being honest. But, yeah, that opener kind of stunk a little bit. But 4 nights in, we'll take a look at the standings. Oh, there's billionaire Ted himself. Fucking Ted Turner. So I had a business skill of 97. I mean, I don't think Ted's really that charismatic. I don't know. A 60? I feel like it's a bit over the hill. Yeah, I mean, obviously Ted, he was just staying behind the scenes because he's got a fucking empire to run and fucking, oh my god, why am I blanking on CNN? There we go. Oh my god. No, TBS rather. Jesus. It's a Turner broadcasting system. Jesus. As yeah, that's Eddie Gilbert's hurt again. But we'll take a look at the fucking tournament standings. As yeah, El Samurai in the Great Sasuke and Yuki Sano leading Block A, 6 points each. Everybody's gotten a point though in that block. Yeah, Sana's got 2, Shinzaki's got 2, Golden King's got 2. Pretty open block for sure. You know, Yuki Sano was looking to make it 4 in a row until Jericho's Lion Tamer victory. Sasuke's lost to Shinichi Funaki, and then as far as for El Samurai, he lost to Yoshinari Ogawa, so each guy's kind of lost to somebody different as well, so that's, I think it's going to be a pretty open tournament. I think it's going to come down to the wire for Block A. As for Block B, we got Brad Armstrong, Eddie Guerrero, Hayabusa, and Super Astro, all with 6. So Brad lost to Astro, so Astro has a massive, as far as tiebreaker, but he also lost to Eddie as well, and Eddie lost to Candido, which seems to now look like that has been a huge kind of get for Eddie, because Candido obviously only with 2 points. His only victory being him, and Hayabusa, he lost to Brad Armstrong. So that is another, tough tiebreaker. So really it's going to come down to Eddie and then whatever happens between Astro and Brad Armstrong. As far as that's the race to the end there. But it's going to be a solid block. Again, Kazuya Yamasaki was 0 points though. Would love to see him get a win before the end of the tournament. But yeah, on to night 5 we go. Alrighty, night 5. And so as far as we'll pick the venue here. We got the Sendai Sun Plaza. I think it's probably our best bet because yeah, the Akita virtually in the arena, the Kamai Arena Sendai is probably a little too big. Just a little bit. As for the main event here, I mean, Eddie and Hayabusa is definitely the go-to. So Hayabusa's going to beat him. So that's a big win for Hayabusa. Changes up Block B a whole lot. So that's the second loss for Eddie. Major win for Hayabusa. As far as I believe Hayabusa and Eddie. As far as, yeah, Eddie's beaten him the past 2 times in singles competition. Last time Hayabusa beat him was at the Super Power Series, which was on night 7. I'm assuming that was to build up to the tag. Yes, it was. And then Hayabusa beat him twice before that. So, I mean, it's Hayabusa's usually gotten the best of him, from the looks of it, as he gets another victory there for the 4th straight one. Actually, 5th straight one, since they had a pre-show match in 93. Wild. Why they've had that many matches. I tell you, that should be a fun main event. Co-main, that's tough, because I was thinking Ogawa and Sasuke, but Jericho and Funaki's not a bad call either. Also Brad Armstrong, Kazuya Yamasaki as well. We'll go with that. It's Brad making it another major win. Ogawa and Sasuke's gonna beat him in 22 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my gut and have that be the co-main. Then we'll have Jericho and Funaki. As Chris Jericho with another win over Shinichi Funaki there. I mean, Jericho's really getting a pretty solid push here throughout this Best of Juniors. Sam and Golden King. Golden King there. They probably put that a little too high. Looking back at it. As, because like El Samurai and 2 Cold Scorpio, I know Scorpio's hurt, but that still should be a pretty good match. And he's going to win, beating El Samurai. So El Samurai's beating him every single time in both UJPW and in New Japan. But for the first time, 2 Cold Scorpio gets the win. Again, surprised he did not complain about that. We'll go Taka and Super Astro here as Astro's beating Taka Michinoku in 20 minutes. Nuki Sano and Jinsei Shinzaki, as Nuki Sano's going to beat Jinsei Shinzaki in 11 minutes. Jericho and Damien, as will just have to be a regular match. Obviously, we don't need back-to-back Steel the Show matches, but Jericho and Candido, the Blonde Bombers, of course, Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, getting big victories there. And then Minoru Tanaka and Tsuyoshi Kikuchi, as Minoru Tanaka is going to beat Kikuchi, so that's now getting bumped way up. That's going to be, let's swap that. Perfect. I like that. Pretty solid. I think it's a pretty good show. Obviously, the main event's going to deliver. Just as long as nobody gets hurt, we should be fine. Glad this was the opener now, since they didn't click. Golden King, though, with the golden kick in 9:49, or 9:54, rather, excuse me. As it's a big win, though, for Golden King. Another match that doesn't really click is Candido with the Blonde Bombshell over Damien in 9:34. Very happy these have been on the undercard, as Nuki Sato beating Jinsei Shinzaki with a scoop brainbuster, though, and this gets the crowd buzzing. That's relief there. Super Astro beating Taka Michinoku with the Astro Scissors in 20 minutes. It's a nice victory there, and 81 as well. That's actually really solid. El Samurai with the upset loss to 2 Cold Scorpio, the Scorpio Splash in 2017. Love it. Fucking love it. 79 for Tsuyoshi Kikuchi and Minoru Tanaka. As Minoru Tanaka with the leg hook Death Rally driver. I love that win for Minoru Tanaka. First of all, as far as a 60 for him, 74 for Kikuchi. It's a big win. Big win for sure. 76 for Jericho and Funaki. Only a 5-point difference. It's not that far off. As Jericho with the Lion Tamer in 20 minutes. 80 for Brad Armstrong and Kazuya Yamasaki. It's a side Russian leg sweep from Brad Armstrong. That's a pretty big win. It's a 79 for Sasuke and Ogawa, as Sasuke with the Michinoku driver. Again, he's killing it in that tour show with an 84. And Ogawa does really well, too. I'm surprised that was only a 79. 88, though, for the main event, as Eddie Guerrero losing to Hayabusa with Falcon Arrow in 28-24. Love these two matches as the main and co-main. That went really, really well. That actually did better than the one normal show where we had Eddie and Candido main event. So that was fun to see. So yeah, we'll probably take a look at the standings actually after night 7. I think 6 is a little too soon. 7's a good call, and then we'll look at it at maybe night 8 going into night 9. I think that's a good call. We'll just kind of go back to back with it. As on to night 6 we go. So far, I've been very pleased with this Best of Super Juniors. I was pretty nervous about it, just as far as from a perspective of not having kind of our top guys. But I think it just shows you how deep this junior division is, that we're able to put on a pretty solid show without them. But yeah, on to night 6. We go. Alright, night 6. As they have us in the Komozao Gymnasium for this one. Again, they always want us to run Kanto a lot, but obviously we don't want to since we've just ran it. As I think, I think right now I have to run the big venues. Unfortunately for us. As, the Hiroshima Sun Plaza. We'll run the Nakajima Sports Center first. Just to get that out of the way. Main event. That's a good question. As far as Nuki Sano and Ogawa's not a bad option. Actually, it's probably Sasuke and El Samurai. Yeah, that's the call. That is the call. El Samurai's going to beat the great Sasuke. That's a big win. As far as El Samurai, I think they only have the one match. The first ever Best of Super Juniors. Sasuke beat him. So nice little win back for El Samurai. We'll go Nuki Sano and Yoshinari Ogawa. I think that's going to be a pretty solid match. Sano's going to beat him in 22 minutes. Eddie and Kikuchi's not going to be bad either. Eddie's going to win in 22 minutes. We just love that 22-minute matchup. Then we'll go, well, let's just go Hayabusa and Taka. Why not? Hayabusa's going to get the win in 10 minutes. Probably going to give that a little bit more time. I think we're kind of being a bit generous with that. Brett Armstrong of Minoru Tanaka as Brett Armstrong with another win. I think he's won every match besides the opening, contest in this Best of Juniors. Been on a tear. An absolute tear. Jinsei Shinzaki and Shinichi Funaki. Funaki's going to get the win in 22 minutes. The 22-minute matchup. Oh yeah, we'll go Jericho Golden King. Jericho's going to win in 20 minutes. Again, he's had, just a massive kind of second half of this tournament. Tuco Scorpio beating Satoshi Sayama. The Steel Show matchup is going to probably affect that a little bit. Super Astro beating Damien in 12 minutes. And then Kazuya Yamasaki and Chris Candido as Kazuya Yamasaki is going to beat Chris 20 minutes. That's a tough break for Chris Candido. I don't know why he's got such a kind of problem with putting people over, but because he's not going to be like crazy. I don't even think he's going to be that far over as far as an in-ring performance-wise. I think Kazuya Yamasaki is probably going to do just as well, if not better than him. So we have to change Ted Tanabe. I'll let Marty Asami ref the main. Alright. So night 6. Let's run it. As, Sayama and Tuco Scorpio with the injury, of course, Sayama, he was better. It was only close because he was also tired by the end of it. This probably shouldn't have been the Steel Show matchup, but it is what it is. 78 though for Super Astro and Damien. This probably should have been the Steel Show match. That would have made a lot more sense. Two luchadors just kind of going out there and giving it their all. But Damien with a 63 is actually pretty impressive. Super Astro with a 76 though, that's not bad at all. It's a fun little match. Yeah, Yamasaki outperformed by 1 point. And yeah, Candido was throwing a bitch fit about it. Makes no sense. A 73 from Jericho and Golden King as a Lion Tamer from Chris Jericho in 2016. It's a good little win. Shinichi Funaki beating Jinsei Shinzaki with the Sean capture. I mean, the junior division's really getting to the point where even the bottom of the barrel guys are getting, on the same level as some of these other guys that are in the higher echelon of the division. So that's been awesome to see. Brad Armstrong beating Minoru Tanaka with a side Russian leg sweep in 21:53. So that was a 79. Hayabusa beating Taka Michinoku. Taka still just can't get over the hump, unfortunately. But once the popularity gets there with the rest of Japan, oh boy, he'll be pretty fucking good. He'll probably be doing around the 60s or the 70s, if I had to guess. He'll be locked and loaded. 80 for Eddie and Kikuchi. Both 76s there. Could have went either way, but Eddie with the Brainbuster in 22:24. Another 80 for Ogawa and Nuki Sano. Nuki Sano with the Scoop Brainbuster in 22:01. And an 82 for the main event as El Samurai with the upset win, beating the Great Sasuke in 26:26. Great win for El Samurai. That's a solid show. For a tour show especially, that actually did really well. Pretty pleased with that. I mean, I'm just so blown away by this tour because, again, this has just been, everything's gone right. No one's gotten hurt. People have been putting people over. It has been a bit of a pulling teeth for some cases, mainly Chris Candido, but everybody else has been pretty much raring to put somebody over. It's been great. So yeah, we just have 3 more tour shows left, night 7, 8, and 9. We'll take a look at the standings after night 7 to see what it's looking like with the final 2 shows left. Yeah, on to night 7 we go. Alrighty, night 7, as we do have backstage, and it's been a while since we've had one, actually, but it's Taue passing on Psychology to Masato Tanaka as the main event. Probably going to be Brad Armstrong and Eddie Guerrero. That is a bit of a banger. Brad's going to beat him, so Eddie's now lost 3 matches. And as far as, we're just going to go ahead and look at this, because this is massive. So Eddie was already behind here. So Brad lost to Super Astro, though. So depending on what happens with Astro, this is really going to change things. Honestly, just for the sake of excitement, let's have Eddie beat him. Why not, right? Let's have Eddie win. And now we got a hell of a race there for Block B. So we got Astro and Candido. Chris Candido gonna beat Super Astro. That's massive. 28 minutes though. Candido's not really gonna work all that well with that, but we're gonna give it a shot. So that now, as Candido's jumped up to a major victory, playing the potential spoiler role for Super Astro. Then Hayabusa and Damien, which Hayabusa will be beating Damien, so he's now jumped up to first with that win. Because he's, of course, got 12, everybody else has 10. So it's wild. Just wild to kind of think with 2 shows left how this is all going to play out. Funaki and Ogawa can go here, as Funaki getting the win over Ogawa in 22 minutes. El Samurai and Nuki Sano should be a lot higher. It's El Samurai beating Nuki Sano. It's a big win for El Samurai again. Beating both, as far as just massive wins. Massive victories in Nuki Sano. As far as, he's looking like, depending on how this all plays out, he might be the winner of Block A. Very well could be. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, because right now he's tied now with Nuki Sano. It comes down to Jericho, Too Cold Scorpio, and the Great Sasuke, and he's beaten both Sasuke and obviously Nuki Sano. So that's just nuts. It's crazy that Jericho and Too Cold Scorpio though have 10 points between the two of them. As speaking of Sasuke, Too Cold Scorpio, Sasuke's gonna beat Too Cold Scorpio. Sayama and Jericho. Sayama's gonna beat Chris Jericho. That's a big win for Satoru Sayama. So that's shaking up Block A tremendously. Golden King, Jinsei Shinzaki can go here. As a Golden King's going to beat Jinsei Shinzaki. I don't know how I feel about that. As far as how many wins does Jinsei Shinzaki? He's got 2. Let's give him 4. Give Jinsei Shinzaki this win. I love him to death. He needs it. As Kazuya Yamasaki and Minoru Tanaka. Minoru Tanaka is going to beat Yamasaki there in 20 minutes. Then Kikuchi, Taka Michinoku, and Tsuyoshi Kikuchi is going to beat Taka in 10 minutes as the Steal of the Show matchup. A bit of a, this would definitely be a lot higher, but Too Cold Scorpio's injury. Funaki and Ogawa might be better than Hayabusa and Damien. We're just going to roll the dice with that. We could probably cut that down to about 10 minutes as well. But I like what we're doing. I like the show. Hopefully it's a banger. But you can kind of see that all hell is broken loose here at the end of this, because so many things have been turned upside down. With Eddie beating Brad Armstrong, that's definitely opened up the gate for a big swing in Block B and for Block A. El Samurai's looking like he might be in the finals. As far as with 2 major victories over Sasuke and Nuki Sano. 72, though, for Tsuyoshi Kikuchi and Taka. That's Kikuchi getting the win in 9:49. Not bad at all. Not a bad opener. 73 for Kazuya Yamasaki and Minoru Tanaka's. 5-point difference. Slight upset. Minoru Tanaka getting the win with the Minoru Special in 20 minutes. 68 for Golden King and Jinsei Shinzaki. As Jinsei Shinzaki, it was outperformed, but a solid match though. 63 and 61, so not bad at all between those two. Oof! They don't click. Sayama with a 38, a 49 for Jericho. This should have been way the fuck down there. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Should have been a shorter match as well. Yeah, we fucked that all up. Sasuke, though, beating Too Cold Scorpio with the Enziguri in 21:57. That's a nice win. For Sasuke, 78 for Okawa and Funaki. Funaki with a Rising Sun, though, over Ogawa. It's a big win. It's a big win for Shinichi Funaki. Big win for the TTS team. Hayabusa beating Damien with the Falcon Arrow in 21:56. Nice performance there from Hayabusa again. Just keeps on rolling. Nuki Sano and El Samurai I'm surprised that was only a 75. I thought that was going to be in the 80s, but the Samurai Bomb from El Samurai over Nuki Sano in 23 minutes. Massive win there. And a 83 for the Candido upset over Super Astro. It was relatively close, though, even with the stamina issue. So that's nice to see for Candido. He brought it. Brought it for this one. And 81 for Brad Armstrong. I think Brad did it. He did outperform him. He did outperform him, so that could have went either way. But a major victory. So for Eddie Guerrero, nonetheless. And boy, oh boy, does that open up the fucking floodgates for these last 2 shows. A lot can change just between each show. We have a lot of big-time matches left, too. This is going to be crazy. There's going to be a chance that we're going to get a tie. There's going to be a good chance that it's going to come down to a tiebreaker. We might have, maybe have to do a triple threat as far as elimination matchup to see who's going to go on to the finals. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. As far as the the standings after day 7, as El Samurai, Nuki Sano, Great Sasuke, all of 10. Of course, Sasuke has lost to El Samurai, so there's a tiebreaker loss there. And then for Nuki Sano, he's also lost to El Samurai. So El Samurai, just from automatic, tiebreakers, looks like he's got a good chance to make it to the finals. Really, the only thing that could fuck that up is if Too Cold Scorpio makes it to the finals. Or if he blows it here against Golden King and Shinichi Funaki, if he just sticks with 10. Other than that, it looks like he has punched his ticket to go to the finals. A lot could still happen, though, because Naoki Sano, he's got Too Cold Scorpio and the Great Sasuke left. Basically, whoever wins in that match, too, can definitely dictate who's going on in the finals, because if Sasuke wins or Naoki Sano wins and they then beat either Too Cold Scorpio or Satoru Sayama, they're going on the finals with that. So that's, it's a major, final three here, potentially. As for Block B, though, Hayabusa with 12. It's his tournament to lose, really, at this point, since he's ahead. Nobody else is tied with him. He's got Candido, and he's got, as far as Super Astro left. So that's a pretty major final two. Astro has a big chance to swing in to get the 12th point, and not only, potentially, 12 to 14 points and tie with Hayabusa. But I don't know. A lot could still happen. Eddie's got Kazuya Yamasaki, Minoru Tanaka left, so you assume he would finish with 14. Brad also has Damien and Taka as well, so you're also going to assume he's going to finish with 14, unless something crazy happens. I think the win over Eddie Guerrero is going to be a real, or rather, the win for Eddie over Brad Armstrong is really going to be a big factor in that, because he's already lost to Hayabusa, so he's got the tiebreaker loss there. It is Hayabusa's block to lose, for sure. 1,000% just looking at this. It's going to be major. Going to be major to see how this all plays out. As, because Super Astro, he lost to Eddie, so I would say he's pretty much out of the race. It's Hayabusa's to lose. If he loses any of these next two matches, boy, is the gate going to be open for somebody to sweep in and just get a massive, massive win. But a lot of things have to go right for the other team, the other person. As on to Night 8, we go. Alrighty, Night 8. As I think we're going to go Chubu. I think we're going to go back to the Nagata City Gymnasium. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Alright, so Night 8. We probably should have Hayabusa and Super Astro be the main. As Hayabusa beats him. So this is interesting, because, let's go to Block B here. Because, with that win, it basically eliminates any kind of final race there. Where, at least if Super Astro wins, it creates a bit of a kind of last run, with also Brad Armstrong in there as well, to potentially make it a three-way race to end out the last day. So a lot could change there, but I think we will stick with Hayabusa getting the win. He'll jump up to 14. For Brad Armstrong now, it's the chase to catch him. As far as it's going to come down to Brad and Hayabusa eventually. So knocks Super Astro out of contention of winning the block. Unfortunate for him. Where is Brad? There he is against Taka. So Brad's going to beat Taka. So there's that. So we know he's going on to at least potentially the final show. It comes down to Hayabusa and Brad Armstrong. So we'll go with, as far as we'll have El Samurai and Shinichi Funaki be the co-main, I think. Funaki's going to beat him. So that has changed Block A a whole lot. Now, that leaves the door open for Naoki Sano and the Great Sasuke. So this is just turning out to be quite the final little two shows. Sasuke and Sayama. Sasuke beats him. So Sasuke jumps up to 12. And Naoki Sano, Too Cold Scorpio, Naoki Sano gets that win too. So he jumps up to 12. Now, obviously, El Samurai, he just has to win one more match. And hopefully, hope for him, as far as if he wants to win, somehow, some way, they lose as well. So it just kind of comes down to that. But yeah, that should be pretty interesting, because of course, with those two, they still have to face off against, or as far as, with Sasuke, he still has to face Funaki and then Naoki Sano, and as far as that's still a big-time match to be done, it potentially comes down to the winner of that match. It's Naoki Sano and Sasuke, whoever wins is going on to the finals. So that's worked out really well. I like that. I like that a lot. So that should be fun to see, as Jinsei Shinzaki, Chris Jericho will add that, as Jericho's going to beat Jinsei Shinzaki, Eddie and Kazuya Yamasaki, as Eddie gets another win. Candido Minoru Tanaka, as Candido gets the win, 10-minute matchup, steal the show as well, which that's fun. Kikuchi beating Damien in 10 minutes, then Golden King and Yoshinari Ogawa, as Ogawa beating the Golden King in 20 minutes. We'll actually bump that up. And we're going to bump this up as well. So yeah, that's going to be a pretty solid last night. I think if it all goes well, again, we've been very blessed with nobody being injured. Kikuchi beating Damien in 10 minutes. 78, that's a good way to start off the show. 71 from Candido, 54 from Minoru Tanaka. Both guys off their games, but still have a decent little matchup, so we'll take it. 77 for Ogawa and Golden King, as Ogawa gets the win in 20. 72 for Jericho and Jinsei Shinzaki as the Lion Tamer from Jericho, as, yeah, Jinsei Shinzaki didn't really come close. So 78 from Eddie and Kazuya Yamasaki. That's crazy how close that was. So I feel like Eddie's kind of strength is not this Best Super Juniors tour. This has been a pretty, from a champion perspective. He's been outperformed a lot of times. It's been pretty close a lot of times, and he hasn't really been in the 80s or 90s category. It's been tough on him. But Naoki Sano beats Stone Cold Scorpio with a Scoop Brainbuster in 22:15. That's a 78. There's an 80 for the Great Sasuke and Satoru Sayama. The Thunderfire Powerbomb in 9:43. Side Russian Leg Sweep from Brad Armstrong in 17:42. Shinichi Funaki beating El Samurai with a Sean capture in 23:48. Major victory there over El Samurai to open up. As far as, Block A is now wide open, and Hayabusa beating Super Astro to cut that race down to 2. And that was an 85 as well, so that's a hell of a match, hell of a performance. Solid stuff. Very, very solid to see that main event. Now it comes down to this, the final tour show, as we'll be looking to see who joins the rest of that card. Because, we have a UJPW Tag Team title matchup between Dean Malenko, Wild Pegasus against Chodo and Muto. Have an All-Asia 6-man tag team title matchup as the NWO, being Mike Awesome, Big Van Vader, and Hiroshi Hase, taking on the Super Generation Army team. Also have an All-Asia tag team title matchup of Hashimoto and Akira Taue of the Holy Demon Army against the Can-Am Express. Kensuke Sasaki and Stan Hansen, we already talked about that match already. That's happening as well for the All-Asia Heavyweight title. Then the Junior Heavyweight tag team title matchup of potentially, as far as depending on what happens with the challengers, there's a lot that it could be, but the Blonde Bombers are set to defend their titles. We'll see as far as if Eddie's going to make the finals. Maybe, we'll add a junior heavyweight title matchup in there as well. A lot can still happen, though, on this final day. So, yeah, fingers crossed we get a hell of a show to end out the tour. Alrighty, moment of truth. We get to see what will be the finals matchup, as Taue passing on tips on psychology, to Masato Tanaka. As, I think, as far as the main event, best call to be Naoki Sano, Great Sasuke, right? It's a draw. So, that has opened up a unique little window, because they're going to tie with 13. Now, no other person is going to be able to tie that. It's just going to be Naoki Sano and the Great Sasuke with 13, and obviously a tiebreaker against each other. So, they need something to decide on the tiebreaker. We'll figure that out shortly, what that will be. As Chris Candido and Hayabusa. Chris Candido upsets, beats Hayabusa. So this has opened up the door for Mr. Eddie Guerrero. Because if he wins, and it doesn't matter as far as with Brad Armstrong, since he's already beaten him, Eddie might go on to the finals. Might still be Hayabusa. As hopefully Candido. It's going to be a 29-minute matchup, so he might struggle a little bit. But Eddie's got Minoru Tanaka, and he beats him. So Eddie has a chance to do something pretty spectacular in the fact of being able to win the Super Junior and the J Cup in the same year. I'm trying to think. I don't think anyone's ever done it. If somebody did, it might have been Liger. In 95, I think it was. Nope, it was Hayabusa. So yeah, no one's ever done that. That's pretty cool. He's also has the opportunity to be the first Gaijin to win the Best Super Junior, so that would also be pretty cool if that does in fact happen. But Sasuke's got a chance to win it back-to-back, and then Funuki Sato's got a chance to win it for the first time. Now, how this is going to be done, as post-show press conference from Baba as far as talking about what's the plans, and he gets interrupted by the champion, Eddie Guerrero, as Baba's trying to lay out the plan, saying, the plan is tiebreaker match between, Naoki Sano and Great Sasuke have a rematch on the final show. The winner of that match takes on Eddie. And Eddie's just like, listen, I don't want to get a opportunity to prove that I'm the best and just be able to beat somebody that's already wrestled that same night. I want to prove that I'm the best, and that's a unique thing because Eddie, I think as far as to show off the confidence that he's kind of gained as the Junior Heavyweight Champion, from that perspective, as far as probably from a year or two ago, he's probably not wanting that, or no champion is really wanting to do that, and he's just like, Guerrero, last name, and it's Warrior. I have to be a Warrior tonight. I have to be a Warrior when it all matters. I got a chance to make history. I got a chance to prove to all the doubters, all the naysayers, that I am in fact the best Super Junior in the world. And I want that opportunity. I can beat both guys at the same time. So he's throws out the triple threat. Baba, kind of thinks about it. He goes, all right, you're on, champ. And we get our finals, first ever triple threat. It's an elimination matchup. Winner goes on to win the Best Super Juniors. So that's a unique opportunity, because if Eddie wins, of course, he picks his challenger. But also, the history there, Sasuke can go back-to-back and get a rematch with Eddie, and also potentially get a win there. And then Funuki Sato could win the Best Super Juniors for the first time. So very, very cool to kind of see how this all plays out. I think it's a unique Best Super Junior finals, obviously with the triple threat, and having a champion kind of go on a limb and say, I don't want to win that way, I want to win the right way type of thing. It's a big deal. It's a big deal as Baba changes the plans. Thanks to Eddie. Yeah, that's massive, though. That is massive to kind of have a champion kind of lay it all out there on the line. Luckily, though, for him, I think also with Eddie, it's like he's got nothing to lose. He gets a chance to get in the ring with a future challenger, or, somebody like in Sasuke, who he's fought many times in the past, and just, I think, all around, I think it's a good little story. Hopefully. Hopefully it's a good little story. It's Brad Armstrong and Damian. We'll just go ahead and add that. Tough break for Brad Armstrong. Just lost the wrong guy. And it's crazy to think, we almost had him beat Eddie Guerrero. So we almost had Brad Armstrong in the finals. But one loss changed everything for him. That's just unfortunate for him. Astro and Kikuchi, tough break for Super Astro, but he's going to beat Tsuyoshi Kikuchi there. We're going to bump that up. We'll had Jericho and Ogawa. So, as Jericho's going to beat Ogawa, so he's finishing with like 10 points, which is massive for him. And El Samurai's going to beat Golden King, another guy. Had a chance to make it all the way to the finals, but one loss just changed everything. Unfortunate for him. It's Too Cold Scorpio and Shinichi Funaki. Funaki's going to beat Too Cold Scorpio, Sayama, and Jinsei Shinzaki. As Jinsei Shinzaki will be beating Satoru Sayama, and Sayama's a little upset by that. And then Kazuya Yamasaki's going to beat Taka Michinoku. As also, Sayama, after his match, talks about as far as he's not leaving the I would say just the UJPW Super Junior Division empty-handed, as far as he reveals that he's been training someone to be the successor to him. And he's been handpicked, he's been trained, and he's even going to go under the Tiger Mask. So we'll get to see him in action on the final show. And that's kind of his reveal as far as Sayama. Thanks, everyone, for the support. Support and love throughout the years. Reveals a new Tiger Mask is coming. So cool. We get a new Tiger Mask. How fun. And he even says that they're going to be better than any other Tiger Mask in the past. So, and he includes himself. But yeah, that's obviously high praise. Better than, Koji Kanemoto and better than Mitsuru Masawa. That's pretty high praise. Hopefully that goes over well. Probably won't, but hey, it is what it is. So a nice little passing the torch, if you will, as far as one Tiger Mask leaves, another enters, as far as from that perspective. Yeah, but we'll probably have to run, the Kawasaki Civic Gymnasium. That works for me. Let's run it. There we go. As a 63 for Jinsei Shinzaki and Satoru Sayama. That's a nice win from Jinsei Shinzaki in 10 minutes. He's done really well, though, in this tour. I've been very pleased with how he's performed. 60. That's not bad. Way to go, Sayama. Way to go to Bromo. Kazuya Yamasaki beating Taka Michinoku. Again, Taka is just, when it's a steal the show matchup, he tries to steal it. He does a very, very good job. C beats Kazuya, it was Kazuya Yamasaki beats him, rather, in 10 minutes. That was a 75-72 for Shinichi Funaki and Two Cold Scorpios. A Sean capture from Funaki in 1943. As El Samurai beating Golden King in 21-23 with a Samurai clutch. It's a big win from El Samurai over the Golden King. Jericho over Ogawa. 1 point difference, but Ogawa and Jericho, it's crazy that they're both in the 70s now. Jericho's just kind of full steam ahead. Brian Armstrong beating Damien in 18 minutes. Super Astro beating Tsuyoshi Kikuchi with the Astro Scissors, as it's 79 for Super Astro, 73 from Tsuyoshi Kikuchi. Now, 20-minute match between Eddie Guerrero and Minoru Tanaka, as Eddie with a Frog Splash, and that's at 82. Big performance there. 80 for the upset from Candido over Hayabusa as the Blonde Bombshell getting the win. They have great chemistry as well. Sucks that, again, as far as towards the end, Candido's getting tired, but what a performance, though. It's just crazy how, again, tiebreakers just kind of saved everything and changed everything. And then the draw, 30 minutes. It's, we've got to make it a draw, but that's basically what it was. It's a draw, 30 minutes, instead of a referee losing control and stop the match. But that's, I think it's a unique way, because that's the only draw that we have the entire tournament. Comes down to the last ever match, and both guys go on to the finals. But now you're getting to see who's going to be the better between the two, also in that triple threat in the elimination portion. Yeah, there we go. And then we have the triple threat set. Fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. So that's our finals. The finals are set. Ready to go. I'm super pleased with how that all played out. As far as, we have a big-time co-main event for the UJPW Tag Team titles like we talked about with Dean and Wild Pegasus against Choto and Muto. We also now get to see the new Tiger Mask, so that should be fun. And, we get, as far as, a Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup as well. Blonde Bombers, as far as we'll figure out who exactly they will challenge, or who they'll be the challengers of that title matchup. But yeah, on to the final show. Alrighty, the Best of Super Juniors, as CBS, Nippon TV, Perfecto Mundo. Alright. So, post-show, the show, first of all, is going to be at the Tokyo Dome. But our main event, triple threat, elimination style matchup. Winner wins the Best Super Juniors. So the finish, Naoki Sano hits a scoop brainbuster on the Gray Sasuke, pins him, 1, 2, 3, right when that ref hits that 3 count on the mat. Eddie's flying off the top and hitting a frog splash on Naoki Sano, who obviously doesn't see him coming. Eddie, wasting no time, picks him right back up. Brainbuster, now to a, laid upwards. Naoki Sano takes another frog splash for the 1, 2, 3. Just figure that'd be a fun finish to have. So Eddie, as being the kind of ultimate opportunist there, making a hell of a win to capitalize not only the year that he has had, but also he now gets to choose who he will challenge as far as at the Royal Road Finals. I was thinking about having that at the October Giant Series, but I think the Royal Road Finals would be a lot more impressive. As so, Eddie does it. He chooses his next opponent. We'll just say his next challenge. Nope. Challenger. No. You know what? We'll just reveal what it is. He chooses his nephew, Javo. There we go. So yeah, giving a punchline away, but Eddie is just kind of like, thinking, oh gosh, as far as who should I face, as far as kind of looking at the names and talking about them. I was like, I faced all these guys during the Best Super Juniors. I'm sure they want a break. I'm going to give an opportunity to somebody who wasn't in the Best Super Juniors, so it's a fresh matchup. My nephew Chavo, and he's saying, Chavo Jr. is just, you get this big opportunity, you better not waste it, type of thing. And I think it's going to be a fun little match to put together. Obviously, with Eddie and Chavo, as far as this would be the first time they ever face off against each other in UJPW, but just a fun little, as far as having somebody choose their own nephew as a challenger, just makes sense from a perspective of not only going through such a grueling tournament and coming out on a winning end because of a, just a kind of the big opportunity of being able to hit the frog splash while Nuki San doesn't see it coming, but also to then kind of back up what he says, but do it in a kind of heelish way to where it's not full on like he beat the two guys in the same night. He kind of just stole one at the end. But, he still made it that far, and he still, wanted to prove he was the best Super Junior, and he did so just like that. So the co-main, Dean Malenko, Wild Pegasus, against Masahiro Chono and Kaiji Muto, as Chono and Muto win, beating Wild Pegasus and Dean Malenko. It could have been a huge night for the tag team champions, that is for sure. And it could have been a big night, rather, for Eddie, Dean, and Chris. But obviously Dean and Wild Pegasus coming up short. So the NWO versus Super Generation Army, the All-Asia 6-man tag team title matchup, as Jun Akiyama is going to be beating Mike Awesome there. Obviously with Hiroshi Ase and Kensuke, usually we have them team with Kensuke taking on Stan Hansen for the All-Asia Heavyweight title. It makes sense to have this be the trio team, because I think it was a pretty solid trio team for the NWO. Jun Akiyama getting the win. As then Shinya Shimoto and Akira Taue, the All-Asia Tag Team Championship challengers, taking on the Can-Am Express, and the Can-Am Express will win. Darren Crawford beating Shinya Shimoto in 20 minutes. I love that match, though. That match should be a banger. Then Kensuke, Stan Hansen, Kensuke Sasaki, the new All-Asia Heavyweight Champion. Kensuke's beaten him every single time, and they've had singles matches, the past couple of years. They've faced off against each other in Champion Carnival. Just feel like it's keep the winning streak going for Kensuke. Stan Hansen beat him the first time around, in 95. Other than that, it's been, this is at least the first time it's been a non-Champion Carnival singles match too, so that's been nice to see. But yeah, I think it's time. Stan Hansen, it's 1998. He doesn't really need championship belts anymore. He was a great little champion to be able to beat not only as far as Vader to win it, but I think that's kind of like his last big run, for the company. So I think that's a great little send-off for him going into 98 and 99. Of course, basically, as far as we're at the tail end of his career already. So just kind of being a little proactive there. The tag matchup, we didn't talk about this. Terry Funk and Big Titan against Vampiro and the Headhunter. So, of course, the former All-Asia Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, or Challengers, rather, Jesus, and Vampiro and the Headhunter, they're going to lose to the BWO. Terry Funk, Big Titan getting the win, as Big Titan's going to beat the Headhunter in that one. And then as far as a major little 8-man matchup as well on the undercard. So the Holy Demon Army, with Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki teaming up to taking on the Blonde Squad, Johnny Ace, Dan Spivey, Chris Candido, Chris Jericho. Now, usually, you know me, I like having the actual team beat the kind of thrown together team. But with this gets a purpose, but also it's a bit of an upset too, and no one's really thinking that this kind of dream team of Kawada and Hayabusa with Jinsei Shinzaki and Masato Tanaka, they're going to get a win here, but they do. And Hayabusa gets the win back over Candido, and also future junior heavyweight tag team title matchup with Hayabusa and Shinzaki against Jericho and Candido as well. So kind of two birds, one stone there. And Tiger Mask 4 and Sayama. And it's Tiger Mask 4 beating Takamichi Noku and Terry Boy. This is, in fact, the actual Tiger Mask 4. So it's not like we got somebody new under the mask that, we're trying to push. Now this is them. He's done alright in FMW. The skills have me pretty impressed with somebody that relatively young. He's 27, so he's not extremely young, but I mean, he's pretty well-rounded. The psychology's there. He just needs a little bit more experience, and kind of everything else is going to fall into place. But 91 basics, 88 safety 2. Sound could be a little bit better, but hopefully it goes over well. Tiger Mask 4, though, going to get the win, probably over Terry Boy, because Taka's probably going to be the best guy out of the two. And yeah, that is the show. So yeah, as far as looking onward now, obviously the Royal Road Tournament is on the horizon. We're going to have, obviously, that tournament, but also on the final show, we're going to have Junior Heavyweight title matchup with Eddie and Chavo. We're going to have a Junior Heavyweight tag team title matchup with the Hayabusa Jinsei Shinzaki team against the Bombers. We're also going to see Stan Hansen take on the heavyweight champion Kenta Kobashi. Now, the reason why this is happening is because Kobashi lost to him during the Champion Carnival, and obviously we were waiting to do that match when Stan's not the champion anymore, and we will basically kind of promote it as Stan's last hurrah, as far as kind of the last stand at the Alamo type of thing, where it's his last shot to being a unified Grand Heavyweight Champion. So that'd be kind of a fun little story to tell too. So that should be fun, and also the tournament itself. I mean, the Royal Road Tournament has done very, very well as of the recent years, and of course the winner of that will take on the winner of the Unified Grand Heavyweight title matchup at the October Giant Series. So that should be fun to kind of look through. So yeah, we've got everything pretty much as far as somewhat mapped out throughout this. Hopefully, just nobody gets injured on this final show. It's kind of the big thing there. But we should have a solid little show, especially that main event. I think that main event's going to deliver. I think the co-main's probably going to be the best thing on the card. We'll see if I am correct. There was 65. But Tiger Mask 4 and Satoshi Sayama against Terry Boy and Taka Michinoku. Yeah. Still not there yet. That's how Tiger Mask gets the win, the crossface chicken wing suplex in 9:32. You got to start somewhere, But a 49's not the best debut, but it's not the worst either. For him, it's an 84. For Kawada, Masato Tanaka, Hayabusa, and Jinsei Shinzaki against the Blonde Squad. It's Hayabusa with a Falcon Arrow over Chris Candido. Love that match, though, an 84. 94s and 91s from Kawada and Hayabusa. Spivey was god-awful. Worst guy in the match. Him and Jinsei Shinzaki tied. Yeah, Spivey at this point in 98, he's definitely a shell of his former self. We'll probably end up sending him out sooner rather than later. Terry Funk and Big Titan beating the Headhunter Vampiro team. Yeah, but then Trillion All Asia tag team title matchup there with Terry Funk and Big Titan against the Can-Am Express. Vampiro, though, with a 90s, pretty awesome. It's a big win. As far as Big Titan beating the Headhunter as well, the Exploder, is pretty sick. But, I mean, wrong team won. The better team was the Vampiro Headhunter team. So there is that. Kensuke Sasaki, though, beating Stan Hansen with the Northern Lights bomb. Kensuke Sasaki, your winner in 21 minutes. Yeah, he just can't work that long anymore. 99 for Hashimoto and Taue against the Can-Am Express. As the Can-Am Express get the win with the Tiger Driver from Crawford over Hashimoto. Love it. Love it. Dan Crawford was on 98. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. 99 again for the All Asia 6-man tag team titles. The Koji Kanemoto, Jun Akiyama, Masawa trio is pretty elite. With Masawa with a 97, a 92 from Jun Akiyama, and a 91 from Koji Kanemoto. There's not a lot of trios that can beat that. That's their second defense of their All Asia 6-man tag team titles. Is Akiyama with the Blue Thunder Bomb on Mike Awesome. He was the worst guy in the match, so that makes sense. So another 99. Dean Malenko, Wild Pegasus, 198. Kaiji Muto, 197 for Chono. 1 point difference. The Deathlock STF from Chono over Wild Pegasus, though. Their fourth defense of their unified tag team titles. I just feel like the NWO, they've had a hell of a run. Don't need to take the belts off them yet. Just doesn't seem necessary. And on 99 for the main as well. What's that, like 4 99s in a row? It's Eddie Guerrero getting the win. Obviously, we talked about how that's going to happen. Yeah, it's exactly how it's supposed to go. So, way to go, TEW, for getting it right. I wish, again, you could pick the order of that, but luckily the game and me were on the same page. But yeah, Nuki Sano with 87, 89 for Sasuke, 93 from Eddie. He's the best guy in the match. Right guy wins. And the Bojo angle, doesn't really go over well. But, it's a fun win It's a fun show. I'm surprised I only got a 97, I guess because of the 79 matchup and the 65, because other than that, 499s is really impressive, but I think the rest of the card kind of struggled a little bit, though, too. Like, no other matches even close to a 90. Closest one was 85 and 84. That's a hell of a show, though. Very, very pleased with that. Obviously, want to give Eddie a lot of love. We want to give... I will give Kawada some love for his performance. It's crazy Vampiro with a 90. He did really well, too. We'll go... We'll go Wild Pegasus. We'll give him a nice little A. Thanks for putting him over. But that was a hell of a match, though, between the tag champs. That's crazy if they all got 99s. I figured we were going to get 100 by the end of that, but we'll gladly take 4 99s in a row. It's episode 61. It's in the books. Just like that. What a success. Yeah, that went really, really well. I'm still shocked at how well that went. Especially for just how, again, we've been a bit of a downswing recently, with the, unfortunately, as far as from a company perspective, with the whistleblowing situation of Kashi Morishima, like, hey, everybody's on drugs here. Somebody should fix something. And we have. We are fixing it, and hopefully it goes over well. I mean, really, the history of the past just couple of shows, man. I mean, we've had just great shows. The finals was a 97. The Summer Action Series was a 99 with that 100 with Kobashi and Taue. J-Cup did pretty well as a 93. Not the greatest, but 98 for Kobashi and Hashimoto. So usually, our big shows are delivering. And that's exactly what we want. Other than that, money's coming in well. We just have to deal with kind of as far as our prestige is low because, the scandal's hurting the company for the next 6 months, though it will blow over after that 6-month period, so that's going to be nice. We've been making money, though, hand over fist, which is nice. And we've been needing to, because there's been a couple of contract negotiations that have been pretty back and forth. Dean Malenko's has been crazy. As far as we just signed him, he has probably the biggest deal now, if I had to guess. Yeah, $220,000 per month. WCW wanted him really, really bad, and I'm not ready to give up Dean Malenko. Him and Eddie and Wild Pegasus, they're a hell of a team, and I don't want to break them up yet. But boy, is WCW coming in hot though for a lot of these. Taz's contract coming up is going to be interesting because I don't know if we're going to re-sign him or not. We might just let him go, or send him to FMW. That might be the better call. So at least he's doing something instead of just being unemployed. Kashinaka's probably going to be gone. It's going to be interesting. But Kobashi's deal is going to be. We're probably going to give a lot of money to Kobashi because, as far as the other companies in Japan right now, Rings are doing well still. As far as no, that's the wrong Rings. As where the hell's the right the right? Well, PWFG though they're the 21 million. They're doing pretty well. And it's there's fucking Rings. There we go, fighting over Rings. 20 million as well for Rings, but they're on the way up. Just because they're at medium right now doesn't mean anything. They're definitely trying to make some big time moves. Like they weren't really hard for Wellington Wilkins Jr., but I kind of put the kibosh on that and extended him, which that deal was a little crazy too. It's I think the deal has been finalized. I hope it has. I think it has. Yeah, I think there's the headline for it. I was hoping we could look at it, but I guess we can't. But it's like 80, 90,000 per month. It's a lot. But it hurts them more than anything. I'm just kind of now, because we're at the point where we have so much more money than everybody else in Japan. We're going to kind of strong-arm some companies and make sure that they know who's the fucking boss around here. But yeah, as far as the shows are going well, money's going well, everything's up. Everything's up going into 99. It's looking like it's going to be a hell of a year, 1999, because again, we just keep on getting better and better. When everybody that kind of was sent to rehab that comes back, like, Johnny Smith, Liger, Masafuchi, once those guys come back too, we'll definitely be rocking and rolling. We're just very, very lucky that the only people that have hurt or George Takano and Too Cold Scorpio. If somebody kind of major goes down, that definitely will hurt us a little bit. But the Royal Road Tournament, though, should be a banger. winner of that, against Kobashi, and the Stan Hansen winner. Should be a hell of a October. October should be sick. Then obviously we'll get into the tag league and then on to 99. And to think we'll just have that'll be the final kind of full calendar year. Wild to think. But boy, we've had a hell of a run. How many shows have we've ran over? I'm gonna say probably over 700 shows. I think that was the last time I checked. Yeah, 721. It's a lot of shows. But it's been fun. It's been fun the whole way, which has been awesome. And hopefully, this Royal Road tournament continues that success that we have had, and we can end out another episode with another great show. That's the plan. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.